Hello, welcome to the program, The Issues on ASO Television. My name is Topsy, Gimba, your host. The program, The Issues, comes to you every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at about this time, where we look into national issues and discuss them, whether political, religious, agricultural, whatever you think of. Of course, the program provides that opportunity for me to invite those who make news to contribute on each edition that will be discussed on a frequency like this. This morning, I want to tell you, we woke up this morning with a wet day. It rained heavily. Thank God the weather is cool and people are out for their daily bread, chasing whatever they want to chase to make end living. This morning, I want to tell you on ASO Television, I have with me live and direct a respected politician, a Nigerian and a Rhodes doctor who will be speaking to us how best support groups impact knowledge on Nigeria's democracy. No any other person than Dr. Dominic Alancha. He is the convener, coordinator, Tinubu, Shettima, Grassroots campus. It's a pleasure having you on the frequency ASO radio and television.
Thank you for having me, and good morning, Nigerians.
Yeah. Very quickly, so can you just give us a background of who Dr. Alancha is?
My name is, like you rightly introduced me, I'm Dominic Alancha, a member of the All Progressive Congress. Not just a member, but a founding member of the party. Since, we've been, following Buhari, since 2003, I've been following him, and we moved to ANPP. From ANPP, we formed the CPC. From the CPC, the merger came, and then eventually we formed the All Progressive Congress. So I've been a member, an active member, and a founding member of the All Progressive Congress. And currently I'm the convener and the coordinator of Tinubu Shettima Grassroots canvassers. It's a platform where we intend to mobilize votes, mobilize Nigerians, to vote for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the upcoming 2027 general election. So basically, I think that is who I am. But if you Google me, you can know more about me.
Yeah, you've been a member of APC, even the founding member of the APC.
Yes.
Even when PDP was there, you never thought of joining?
No, I've never been a member of PDP because I felt about ideology. The APC ideology, ab initio, is about welfare democracy, where the people's, welfare and interests, come first. And I found myself to be on the same page with, our founding fathers, of the All Progressive Congress, who most time the interest of the people is paramount to them. Back then, I saw the PDP as more of a conservative party that really do not advance the interests of the people. So my vision, my dreams, like I said, I'm more on the same page with the founding members of the APC. So it finds more expression on the platform of the All Progressive Congress.
Where your dreams met when Buhari was in government for 8 years?
Well, I won't say that all my dreams are met because democracy is progressive and governance is progressive.
You know why I asked you this question?
No.
Because I asked you this as a follow-up to what you are doing for the same party now, as a grassroots mobilizer.
Yes. Well, the kind of change we are expecting is not going to happen overnight. I keep telling people that this change we are talking about is not something that you apply a magic wand. It's something that over time, with consistency, will continue to demand for accountability, will continue to advocate for some of those changes that we are envisaging or we are desiring. And gradually and over time, we are going to have them. So I would say that President President Muhammadu Buhari back then, late of blessed memory, actually met all my expectations. But he did his best. They say good is not enough, if better is possible.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. So with that mindset in you and the effort you put in, and equally being a founding member of what today we call APC,
Now we are in the regime where Tinubu pilots the affairs of the states to an extent that you felt it was important for you to come up with a non-governmental organization to ginger the people at the grassroots to come up and give the support to Tinubu Shettima ticket going forward to 2027. Why did you come up with that concept?
Okay, thank you very much. Let me correct an impression. Tinubu Shettima Grassroots Canvassers is not a non-governmental because we are partisan. Partisans in the sense that most of us are members of the All Progressive Congress, and we are partisan politicians. There are some members of our group that are senators, that are House of Reps members, state houses of assembly members. So you see, the fact that we are, a partisan doesn't make us a non-governmental. You understand? But within the party, we are a support group. We are there to support the party. We are there to support the president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, administration in advancing governance, in mobilizing Nigerians to vote for him. During, I believe tomorrow the INEC is lifting a ban on electioneering campaign. So we have a lot of programs, ranging from, mobilizing Nigerians to participate in politics, mobilizing Nigerians to vote for the right candidate, which is, in our own opinion, is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and all the members of the All Progressive Congress across board. We are also going to be reaching out to youths, because the youths are the engine room of every society. They are the, how do I put it? They are the wheels, of every democracy. And you see, I tell young people, I said, there is no government, whether through a government that comes through military coup. Look at Burkina Faso. There is no government that young people are not involved. No government that young people are not involved. So the young people, have a key, to advancing governance in every nation, if only they can come out and participate. What I mean by that is that not participating in the areas of, on social media alone, because you find out that most of our young people are more active on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on WhatsApp, and stuff like that. But they are not members of, card-carrying members of political parties, where they are involved in decision making, where they are involved in the processes that throw up, a candidate. So we are going to be mobilizing the Tinubu Shettima Grassroots Canvassers. We are going to be canvassing them, let me use the word. We are going to be canvassing them to participate in politics by way of carrying out their civic responsibility, which is to vote in the upcoming general election in 2027 for our candidate. And we will tell them why they should vote for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Given his performance, we will tell them why.
Okay. Was there a lack in 2023?
That you felt this time around, let there be something in that new perspective, where the youth weren't participating fully in 2023, that you sat down in your closet and began to think that what they lacked in 2023 to participate might again hinder them to participate in 2027 and then lose their chances. Therefore, there's a need to come up with grassroots canvassers.
Absolutely. Because you see, in 2023, a lot of young people actually participated. But majority of these young people end up on social media platform. You come to my ward today, Opoga South, from Opoku in Benue State. I can tell you that in my ward, we have success. Of course, it's progressive. We are mobilizing young people to be card-carrying members of our party, so that, because they say the more the merrier. Even though they participated, maybe their participation percent was like say 40%. We want to, in 2023, we want to take it to like 60-70%, because young people, in terms of demography, we are more in number in terms of our voting population. So we need to mobilize them so that they can use their demography to effect a change and vote for the right people into power. So, and we are doing that under the platform of the APC.
Okay. Talking about grassroots, one will imagine that you are referring to people
who are living in the polling units.
Exactly.
And as well what?
What?
Yes. So what makes the difference between what you are doing, having your ambassadors in all of these places, yes, the units and the wards, yes, with what either a councillor or a chairman in a local government does?
Yes. Okay. Now, like I said, we are a support group. A support group, we are to, enlighten Nigerians on, the achievement of this present administration in terms of education, in terms of health, in terms of security, in terms of road infrastructures, in terms of, social welfare, and stuff like that. So, because the chairman, the local government chairman, the state governors, the president, they may not be able to publicize, some of these things they are doing, trickling it down to the grassroots level. But you see, we have a structure, that trickles down from the national, down to the unit level. And in fact, I wish my party, and we are going to write to the All Progressive Congress, because the All Progressive Congress, I was part of, I was privileged to be among those young people back in 2013 that made recommendation on how to market this party to young people so that young people can embrace it. So we have a lot of charter of demands, which we chronicle actually, on, to the APC during the formative stage. And thankfully, some of those, demands were met, were inserted into the Constitution. For example, I give you one. Talking about unit executive, we were the ideas behind, a political party having a unit executive. This is to make the government, trickle down so that the people at the unit level will feel the impact of the administration. And you see, when it comes to election does not happen at the ward. It happens at the unit. Then collation is done at the ward headquarters. So if you want to vote, if you want people to vote for you, you must take the campaign down to the grassroots. What I mean by the grassroots also is the unit level, the communities, the hinterlands, the villages, where these votes are being cast. There are people living in those places. So we have coordinators, at the unit level, we have them at the ward level, we have them at the local government level, we have them at the state level, and we have them at the national level. To coordinate the national, helping coordinating in terms of policy, in terms of programs, and give directive to the state in turn gives to the local government to the ward level, we decentralize our activities. So our responsibility is to help the party, to support the administration in enlightening voters, telling them, driving the campaign to the grassroots by telling them what this administration is doing and what they are going to do going forward. Because continuity is very, very important. Continuity has a way of sustaining, the gains that has been recorded presently for the future.
Okay. Do you have the coordinators already?
Because looking at the size of the country and the demography of the country, where the population is much, yes, do you have these coordinators already that you feel they will do the assignment in the best way you really want as a convener?
Thank you very much. Actually, the Tinubu Shettima grassroots canvassers is not something that started in 2023. It started in 2014, wow, 2015, yes. But we didn't start as Tinubu canvassers. We started as APC anti-rigging squad. You know, back then we were not in power, so we were looking at means of checking the PDP from rigging us out. So when we come up with the unit executive, we converted them into anti-rigging squad. While we have our agents there, you recall the slogan, you know, of Buhari, Akasa,
Akasa
Tere.
Ajofa, Akasa, Atere.
Yewa.
You mean, cast your vote, protect it, escort it. So that is what we use in 2015 general election. So the APC anti-rigging squad, which was a support group within the party, in 2019 becomes field operation. It was headed by, you know, Nuhu Ribadu, and I was the coordinator for Benue State back then, because when we came into power, you know, now power play, you know, and they collected it from us and converted it to a field operation. Wow. And I coordinated Benue State, you know, and the North Central. Now, in 2023, you know, we now came up with this, you know, and I mean, at Tinubu, Shettima, grassroots canvassers. And we have coordinators down to the grassroots. And very soon, we'll be seeing our programs. We'll be inviting you as a media person to cover some of our programs, our trainings, you know, that will be given to our local government coordinator. We'll be a trainers, you know, our program actually, so that people will know how to engage on issues. You know, today we are talking of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. What are the gains of this administration? I believe that the media, you know, crew of the president, they are not doing enough in publishing the achievements of this government, the gains that this administration have recorded in terms of security, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of our economy, in terms of education. Look at what is happening in the education sector today. A lot of people today in the education sector, young people, they have no reason not to go to school because of the mail phone. You know, they have no reason not to go to school. Look at what is happening in our primary healthcare sector. You know, a lot of things, good things are happening, but the people need to be told or be informed, be educated on some of these happenings, so that they will know that the country, this is the direction is going. The president, and I'm happy with the president that he actually acknowledged that, look, there are hard times, but you see, Mr. Topsy, there is need for people to make sacrifice if we must, you know, make progress. Europe that Nigerians are jackpotting to, Africans are jackpotting to, it didn't just happen overnight. If you read the history of Europe, you will know that they went through a lot of challenges to be where they are today. American democracy, people often say they just celebrated their 250 years of democracy or something like that. You know, not quite long.
That was July.
250 years of democracy. You know, it's progressive. It's a gradual thing. But no matter what, we must continue to engage, and we must sustain the advocacy for good governance, for better governance, and we must continue to demand it. Okay. So we in the APC, we are happy with, you know, what Tinubu and Shettima are doing, and we are going to amplify the good work they are doing at the local government level, I mean at the ward level, the unit level, so that by 2027 we have a mandate, we have a promise, and our operational mandate, you know, like I said the other day in one of our meetings, is operation deliver your unit, deliver your ward, and we are coming to deliver our unit. At least the Tinubu Shettima will deliver to the kitty of APC 5 million votes.
Okay.
At the time you came up with this initiative in 2014, before it was hijacked at the highest level.
Yes.
It's likely that you notice, you know, a huge traffic of those who wanted to be members. Is it continuing up to this moment, or it is dropping? Looking at what the government it was during Buhari and what it is today, and then trying to convince us to get involved in it in 2027. Did you notice the trajectory of movement increasing or decreasing? Looking at the way you came on board.
Yes, Mr. You see, you will agree with me that there is a growth. Should we call it implosion or something like that? Yes. within the APC, within the party? Members of Tinubu, yes, members of the APC, are free to join the Tinubu Shettima Grassroots Canvasser. It's a platform, it's a support group, and very soon we are going to be, doing, a membership drive for the Tinubu Shettima. And one of the criteria is that you must have the membership card of the party. Without the membership card of the party, you cannot be a member of Tinubu Shettima. And, in 2014, 2015, the membership base of our APC was not, I don't know, I can't precisely say the number, but right now we are over 40 million members, of the APC.
40 or 14?
Yeah, 14 million actually, online. There are people that are members of this party that have not been able to register, online. The 14 million is the online registration, people that revalidated their membership online. But I can tell you, there are still people, and that is why the membership registration of the party is going to be a continuous thing. Because we are going to be encouraging people. As I speak with you, people from my ward are calling me to say, what is my membership card status? I have not registered, online. I have not done my revalidation. So a lot of them are out there. They are already members of the party, but they need to revalidate their membership online.
Okay.
Generally, because of the interest of the Nigerian youth that has, that passion of getting it very quickly, what promises or incentives are you trying to give to them by winning them to get involved in this initiative? Or just the nationalistic point of view in them that you feel, because we want the democracy to grow in Nigeria, just get involved without any benefit that will come at the end of the day, either collectively or individually? Is there anything like that?
There can't be any incentive more than to say that, look, we want good governance in Nigeria.
Yes.
There can't be a better incentive to say that, look, those of you that are jackpotting out, stay home. We can make Nigeria like UK. We can make Nigeria like France. We can make Nigeria like the USA, and other, European countries that you so desire to go and work over there. And how do we do it? We need to come together. All hands must be on deck for us to build the kind of democracy that we want by way of providing good governance. So we are urging them to participate politically, and vote for the right candidate, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And you see, if you look at what the president is doing now, I think that is more like relaying the foundation of Nigeria so that we can grow in terms of development, in terms of advancement. We can grow. He cannot do it alone. We need to come together. And that is why 2027 election is very, very important, especially with our governors, because the president, as a result of the removal of subsidy, the floating of naira, has made so much resources available to the state in terms of allocation accruing to state. But how are we holding this state accountable? Are we holding them to account for the common patrimony that is accruing to them, in terms of, the federal allocation that is coming to them on a monthly basis? The other day, I was listening to the national state governor, and I'm impressed with him, because if you go to Maraba Axis now, you see the good work he's doing. Go to Akwanga, you see the good work he's doing. It's not just on the road. Go to the hinterland. You see road constructions, schools are being renovated, hospitals, primary health care are being opened. In New Cairo, there is a new general hospital. I walked in there the other day. There is a new general hospital that the governor established, and is, serving
in New Cairo.
And is serving the populace, the people there.
Yeah.
So these are the kind of thing, and he was saying it the other day that at least Nasarawa State The president, through the removal of subsidy, they have been receiving no less than 16 billion naira on a monthly basis. That is why
even enough for projects like those ones.
Yeah. And that is why you are seeing the kind of constructions that is going on in Nasarawa State. What is happening in other states like Benue, like Plateau, like Niger, like Kogi? You understand? Another state across the federation. If we can be able to begin to hold these people accountable, I believe that Nigeria will be a promised land that we are praying for.
Wow. Now the question here is, I want to...
Dr. Dominic Alancha, convener, coordinator, Tinubu, Shettima, Grassroots canvassers. Yes. Now, some of these initiatives that people come up with, when we talk about support groups, there are so many in their numbers. Yours is one out of many. Have they in any way created an impact in the minds of Nigerians what democracy stands for? Do they in any way make an impact in our minds what democracy stands for? Absolutely. These groups.
Yes. You see, democracy is about people.
You know why I asked you this question?
Who are saddled with the responsibility of providing things like the way you use Nasarawa governor as an example.
Yes.
They don't do exactly what it should be done. Yet there are so many of these groups propagating more about what the regime is doing. Meanwhile, when you now crane your neck into the history books, you discover there's just nothing practically to lay hand on. Yet these groups are there. The question here is, to what extent do they make impact in creating awareness in Nigeria what democracy stands for?
Well, you see, it depends on the leadership of such type of groups, such type of support groups. Like I will speak of our own group, the impact we are making in terms of this democracy. I just told you that we want to engage on issue-based politics. And when we are talking about issue-based politics, we are talking about, politics of values, politics of principles. I won't just, begin to market Tinubu if I know that he's not doing his best. What I will do is that you are doing good, but your good is not enough because better is possible. You need to do better. So for us, under the Tinubu Shettima grassroots canvassers, we are looking at where Tinubu takes over in 2023. How he led the country. Where is the country today? People are crying that there is hunger, there is this, there is that. Okay? Yes, that is true. But it's a necessary sacrifice that me and you must make for the sake of the upcoming generation. Our children are upcoming. Do we want them to come and inherit a nation where they will be burying themselves in the Sahara deserts, in the Mediterranean Sea? Or we want them to come and inherit a country where they will be happy that they are Nigerians? I think you and I want a country where our children will be proud of, where our children will be proud of us. Even in our absence, they will know that we did our best. Because posterity is there for, our children to read. What will they say about us tomorrow? So we are looking forward and working for a country where we will have, all the desirables in terms of, our hospitals, in terms of our health service delivery, in terms of our education. It is possible to, have the kind of a Cambridge University standard in Nigeria. It is possible. It is possible to have Oxford University standard in Nigeria. It is the Minister of Education today is doing extremely very well. And by the special grace of God, I'm a member of the governing council of a polytechnic. I know what the minister is doing. I know the kind of reforms he has introduced. And you see, as a policy analyst, okay, policy analyst, policy formulations, you know, they come with, you do the short-term impact.
Analysis, yes.
Exactly.
Okay, impact. Yeah.
The mid-time and the long-time.
Yeah.
Policy, you know, before you derive the benefit of every policy, sometimes some policy analysts say it takes 16 years
Mature.
to mature. So these reforms that the president have introduced, they are not going to mature overnight. And that is why even back then, we are telling, you know, we advocated, and the president listened. That is why there is wage allowance. That is why there is NEFOM, you know, to cushion the effect of the removal of subsidy. If you go downtown today, you will see CNG buses. Same CNG buses, I don't know what the state is doing, because the state cannot also depend 100% on the federal. They should come up with their own initiative of, because this subsidy, you know, removal has made the state to have more resources. And believe me, if we can deal with our transportation, the civil servant, for example, will have life very easy. Rural-urban transportation
will
be made easy. If state governors can say, within every year, I can provide for every local government 2 or 3 CNG buses, it will serve them. So these are some of the things, you know, we are trying to do to enlighten Nigerians so that their democratic understanding will be better, so that they will understand, you know, what governance truly means. It's not about politics, you know, politics, where people politicize everything all the time. You politicize our education, you politicize security, you know, you politicize virtually everything. No. We should be able to bring some sort of values and appreciate what every administration is doing.
Okay. Doctor, are you aware that Nigeria
has 36 states, including the FCT?
Of course, I'm aware. I'm a Nigerian. I know.
So this Tinubu Shettima canvas, grassroots canvassers, do you have your representative across?
Yes, I told you.
Have they been inaugurated?
We have inaugurated the state.
And why did we do that inauguration? You know, there has been a lot of, you know, crisis within, you know, there were crises within the party. Some people left to join the ADC, some to other political parties. And we felt that there is need for us to do a roll call so that people that are no longer with us, we will know them.
Will not knock them out.
I will knock them out. So what we did on the 13th of August at Hampton Hotel was the inauguration of state coordinators, okay, who are going to be working with some of our local government coordinators. Where there are no local government coordinators, they replace them. Okay. You know, and where there are no ward coordinators, the local government coordinators will replace them. So we have a database of our members, our state coordinators, local government coordinators, ward coordinators, and unit coordinators. We have a database of them. So the ones that are no longer with us, they honestly told us that I have moved, replace me with another person from your party, and we appreciate them for that, because politics is about, you know, choices. Yeah. And we won't force you to make, you know, to agree with our own choice. Yeah. Maybe you have your own reason. Okay? But if we advance a better argument, I think you should go with us. Yeah, and that is what we are going to be doing in 2027. Okay.
Thank you. I know I've been
frustrating you, but you know, the program stops at 9:45. Let me find out from you. Are there incentives for those you inaugurated, like providing them with logistics for movement, you know, to get to rural areas to ensure that they talk to these rural communities for the belief you have concerning Tinubu Shettima in 2027?
Yes.
The logistics I'm referring to in money and transportation.
Yes. definitely there is going to be campaigning.
It's not it's funds. Right. For you to be able to drive such type of campaign is funds. So we are reaching out to our leaders, telling them what we are doing.
Some of them are seeing what
us, like the inauguration the other day was supported by Dr. Femi Alabi, who sponsored the meeting, and a lot of our leaders have indicated interest. Some of them have even, asked us to meet with them. The chairman has promised he's going to ensure that he reach out to critical, leaders within the party to support what we are doing, because what we are doing is what will deliver victory to the kitty of APC. We are reaching the grassroots with the message of our campaign, with the achievement of Mr. President to the grassroots people, so that they will vote for the president again. So if there's going to be, a funding, and we are sourcing for funding from our party leaders, who we are trusting God that they will give us the necessary cooperation,
Is the national party
aware of your agents, of your group?
Yes, every
support group is registered with the party. But we are going to be writing to the national chairman, who seek audience with him so that he will know us more. Ganduje, when he was there, he knows about us. Abdullah Adamu knows about us.
Okay,
so that the present one, who just came on board and is doing extremely very well, and we're going to write to him. Nantawe, Professor Nantawe is doing very well. We are going to write to him so that we'll have, a meeting with him to tell him what we are doing and the need to support the group.
The campaign will start very, very soon.
Yes.
What will you be doing? Are you going to be moving with those, like for instance, if the president moves, that's Tinubu, Shettima, they move from one state to another? Because
we don't have time
to be moving. We don't have the luxury to move about with them. In the sense that, you see, I tell people, I said, election is not won by these people that stand on the political podium, and they are addressing us. This election is won, by the people that drive the campaign at the grassroots. So if they are going to Sokoto, for example, we have a state coordinator in Sokoto. Okay. We have local government coordinators in Sokoto. They will be the ones to receive him there.
At the doors for
people to come out.
If they are going to Benue, my people are on ground. If they are coming to Nasra, my people are on ground there to receive them. We don't have the luxury of going about with them. We only go to rallies if they are coming to Nasra State to support the party. Once the rally is over from there, we will take the message that the president gave in that meeting and disseminate it to the nook and crannies of every state. Meaning the ward level, the unit level. Because they need to, it's not all of them that have the luxury of watching TV or listening to radio. We are the ones to carry the message of the president to them.
Do you have
ways of, do you have jingles? That's what I'm trying to say. Jingles.
We are going to be
producing jingles. Maybe we will seek your services.
We are going to be producing
that will be good, of course. That will be good. Now, sir, are there challenges when one comes up with an idea like yours?
Yes, most times.
The challenges is funding, and that's why I said that we are reaching out to critical stakeholders. And thankfully, a lot of our members are also supportive. Because you see, when people take let me say this, we are going to make Nigerians take ownership of the 2027 APC campaign. When they take ownership of that campaign, it becomes their own. They put in their resources. They put in their time. They put in their energy to ensure that they deliver. So, I'm happy with most of our coordinators, who have the capacity, and they are doing that. But then, we need the support and the push of the leadership of the party, the administration, to support us so that we will carry this message to the nook and crannies, of Nigeria, canvassing for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Shettima.
Either a national office or state office for those issues to be trashed out before you go out for campaign?
Yes, we are using
an office in Jabi here, just for our correspondence. But like I told you, it's more of a field operation kind of a thing. Okay. Yes, so people are across the state, and in the state, most of our offices are mobile because we are reaching out. We are not sitting in one place.
When we have meeting, we rent a hotel.
A hall, converge there, do our meetings and dispatch.
Okay.
Yes, but for all correspondence, they channel them to, our office in Jabi.
Okay.
Not all states are APC.
Yes.
But you want representation even in those states that are not APC.
States, it's a Nigerian thing.
All right.
We have our coordinators across the system, whether the state belongs to APC or not.
So how you receive
governors of those states that are not APC?
No, we do it's a party thing.
Your state, okay, yeah, it's APC.
APC.
Indeed, yeah.
My state is APC. But you see, state like Oshuna that has just been won, Abia, they are not APC, but then they are supportive of our cause. Because a lot of them, just after the election, the governor-elect Senator what's his name? The president, the Osun State Governor, Adeleke. He made a speech where he endorsed the president for a second term.
And that gives you an encouragement.
It gives us an encouragement in the state.
That look, we have a state where we have a governor who is interested in working with our president. So states like that, we have soft landing.
So what will you say, looking at in a way as a way of rounding off the program, how did you see Osun State with the participation of the youth, the Gen Z?
Well, you see, what happened in Osun is a clear demonstration of democracy, and that shows the commitment of Mr. President, to democracy, that he doesn't interfere. People were afraid that APC is going to rig it for this, APC is going to do this, APC is going to do that. No. When APC wins, they say democracy is in danger. But when the other party wins, they will tell you that democracy is working. So I believe that democracy is working because Mr. President is committed to a free, fair, credible election, and that is what happened in Osun State. That the will of people prevail. And in 2027, I believe that the will of Nigerians is going to prevail because they are going to vote for continuity.
Okay, what next will you do after the
inauguration? What are you planning to do as quickly as possible?
Yes, we are going to provide training, for our state coordinators and local government coordinators on a regional basis. We're going to start with the North Central. After the North Central, we go to the Northeast. After the Northeast, we come to the Northwest. And then after the Northwest, we go to Southwest, South-South, and Southeast to provide training for our people.
And all that will be
done before election?
All that will be
before the election by the special grace of God.
All right. Possibly you want to say before we wrap up the program?
Well, what I want to tell Nigerians is that, look, the president has said he understands, the challenges we are going through. He feels that support Mr. President to advance governance. He's laying a foundation that is very, very necessary. And I believe that with sacrifice and cooperation, Nigeria will be better than Europe even, that we desire to be it to be.
I see you with a friend here in the city.
Yes.
What's his name?
My friend's name is yes.
All right.
Tony Otu.
Say hi to you. Well, of course,
that's about the size of the program.
Dr. Dominic Alancha, I want to appreciate you for finding time to be with us in the studio to talk about all your support group, the Tinubu Shettima Grassroots canvassers. I thank you deeply.
Thank you very much.
You are massive. You really explained it very well.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, viewers, that's about the size of the program. The issues with Topsy Gimba. Had we been in the studio, a respected Nigerian, a person who is described as a founding member of the All Progressive Congress. He has a support group that's called Tinubu Shettima Grassroots Canvassers. He came in the studio to explain what it stands for and what they intend to do going forward to ensure Nigerians that are considered to be youth should find themselves into the political system so that they will benefit tomorrow and sustain democracy. We shall be back again with another package. Do have a lovely morning time. My name remains Topsy Gimba. See you and bye-bye.